Hey y'all, Reggie here with my video for today. Just checking in. Oh, it started out a little bit sad. Well, actually, no. I woke up with the spirits. I woke up full. I woke up with a lot of gratitude. I did a beautiful meditation around hope and like just really tapping into that energy of hope and how outside forces can send us messages that tell us not to believe in ourselves. And if we don't have that belief, that fundamental self of sense of self-efficacy, like that belief that we can do, trust in ourselves to be able to do. And for a lot of people, that's been diminished because they're used to experts telling them how to do things, experts telling you how to dress, experts telling you what to eat, when all the information that we need to take care of ourselves is born into it. It's imprinted in our DNA, which is why it's so important to get quiet and go in and ask yourself these questions. What do I need right now? So that was going on with me this morning. And then I heard from a friend and I started looking at some of the numbers for Detroit, and it just looks like Detroit is really becoming a hot spot. So it's really painful to be here. And some of the reasons that are being given for that is one, the high rate of poverty. And high rate of poverty means that people aren't able to have access to health care. Also, that people in Detroit specifically don't even have access to running water because of the enormous number of water shutoffs that have been happening here. And now there's a rush to get that water turned back on, but that means also having city workers going into people's homes where the chances of infection within those homes are higher. So it just becomes a mix. So this is why that message that continues to be repeated is, unless we are all taken care of, none of us are taken care of. Because if you have a segment of the population that's where the infection rate is growing, it doesn't matter if you're safe in your little home, because eventually there's going to be an army of sick people who are going to demand care. So just keeping that in mind. But for the most part, oh, the Spirit is with me so much. The Spirit is with me so much. This is what I'm going to do. Is I am going to reach out to me. Just reach out to me. You can put a message down in the comment section with a question, or if you know how to get in touch with me, if you have a phone number for me or an email address for me, you can send me a text message. I'll leave my Google phone number in the description box below, and I'll leave, well, you know, I want to make sure that people can reach me, because I have been very in tune with the spirits these days. And even if you don't believe in any of that, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, I'm about as spiritual as a string of Mardi Gras beads. I am not a spiritual person. I don't believe no mumbo jumbo. But regardless of my own belief, the spirits have just been like really, really noisy. And so I've been getting these messages when I talk to people and when I communicate with people. And so I get an animal flash. And when I get the animal flash, I share it with the person. And right now I've had like 100% accuracy in terms of the messages that I've been giving people, being meaningful and useful for them, like right now. I'm also feeling like I'm supposed to be a hub. So there's a lot of stuff going on in terms of the recovery, and I happen to have access to a lot of volunteers, for example, who can make phone calls and send emails and work virtually. And another person happened to have a platform that they were using that's going to need volunteers. That's going to track calls to people who are shut-ins, and also to do health assessment calls for people to really try to flatten the curve of infection, especially in New York City, where they have over 15,000 cases. I can't even imagine that. But people are faring well. People are faring well in New York City who are being infected. So that's good news. So This is what I'm saying to you. I'm offering this to you. Of course, you can visit my Patreon, and I will leave the information in the description box below. You can visit my Patreon and you can make a donation because, look, y'all, when I'm channeling the spirits, it's a lot. So, asking me to do it for free, I'm willing to do. I'm not going to ask for money. But if you want to go visit my Patreon, ooh, that's the spirits getting loud right now. If you want to visit my Patreon and you want to support some of this work that I'm doing from my house, then you can do that. But, it's neither here nor there for me. You can call me, you cannot call me. The spirits are going to be here whether you believe me or not. The spirits are going to be here whether I believe me or not. So that's the message of hope that I have for y'all. Be well. Sending you lots and lots of love.